he does it and doesn't look like it worked, but suddenly,
through the power of magic cat friendship,
that's the one.
He did it.
Because it's really about the magic we friendshipped along the way.
I hate you so much.
5, 6, 7, 8.
There's no business like show business.
Mamma mia, here I go again. My
Of the music
Let's dive into this one.
Oh my goodness. So, everyone, listener, etc., I would just like to say that this is our 20th episode of 5678.
Holy
A movie
moly.
musical podcast. And since I'm the one that chooses which movies we do each week, I made the chaotic choice.
Grace messaged me like months ago being like, we should do something special for our 20th episode. What do you want to do? And we knew it was coming directly after a Halloween episode, which by now will be out, which is Rocky Horror Picture Show. And Grace was like, I have a very chaotic choice. And I was like, sure, shoot. And she said cats. And I said, no. But we did it anyway. So you, dear listener, don't have to.
Yeah. This is a movie that should not be consumed sober.
Now, what's your history with this musical?
This is my first time with it ever.
Ever.
So
ever.
obviously I know Memory, obviously I know Jellicle Cats, but the plot, I had never seen the 89 filmed production of this.
It was 98. It was 98.
Filmed production of the stage one. I had never listened to the soundtrack. I had never read through the plot. I'm a little baffled.
You knew nothing. Wow, we are coming at this from such wildly different backgrounds because this was my favorite musical when I was a young child. I probably watched that VHS tape at least once a week for many years. I thought I knew this show inside and out. I was 15 minutes in, I was like, oh, I'm going to know all of these words. And then clearly there were just numbers on the soundtrack that I would just skip over.
That does happen.
We'll get to this, but there were many points where I was like, that's not in the original show. And it absolutely was.
Oh, you checked?
And I had forgotten. Yeah,
Good.
I went back and compared because I was like, was this changed for the... Nope. With some minor exceptions, that is the same plot as the stage show. And I had just completely forgotten that. This was one of the first musicals I ever saw. I was obsessed with this show. I was one of the cats for Halloween for several years.
Love that for you.
And so I'm coming at this from a very different point. I agree that this movie is flawed, and this can be controversial. I didn't hate it as much as I thought I was going to.
It made me... So, and I might just do my homework right up front here, but it made me want to listen to more big orchestra musicals. So, right after this, I went and listened to Phantom of the Opera. Like, the music is really, it grabs you. So, by the end of it, I was just like, I just want to listen to, like, something that I know every word to.
I just need a brass
section in my musical. And so I went to Phantom of the Opera, which gave me everything I needed.
Masquerade! All right. We're getting ahead of ourselves as per usual. Yes. Welcome, dear listeners, to 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't even think we need to have the intro track. We just dove into that one.
Yeah, we just flew right in.
Yeah, welcome to 5, 6, 7, 8, a movie musical podcast. This 20th episode. This is the podcast where we review and recap movie musicals from back in all the way in the 30s to modern day, and this
is
special edition 20th episode is the 2019 film Cats. We are your chaotic co-hosts. I am Anna.
I'm Grace.
And we are so thrilled that you chose to be here today.
Oh boy. I think so you said that you grew up with this, and I think I was so baffled by the plot that I couldn't actually, and the cat-isms, that I couldn't actually enjoy the movie. Like, every time that someone rubbed noses with Judi Dench, I felt very uncomfortable.
Listen, this is not a perfect movie, and we will get to the gripes. This is also probably the highest quality film we have reviewed so far in terms of CGI, budget, just quality of technology, and the fact that it's cats is angering to me. Just wait till we get to Greatest Showman.
Okay, we'll throw that in there.
I fucking love the music. Like, the
Listen,
orchestration.
Andrew Lloyd Webber music, he knows what he's doing.
Andrew Lloyd Webber knows music.
Yeah.
Did you know that Andrew Lloyd Webber does music?
Oh my god, he's actually kind of good.
Have you heard of this guy, Andrew Lloyd Webber?
Drew
Totally
Webber?
unknown.
I don't know. So, we begin with a big old moon.
in London.
London! We see a club called the Egyptian. There's some very intense music going on.
It is the overture.
We see our first cat people silhouettes, and I was alarmed. You sort of get more used to it, but the first time you see it, you're just like, oh, no, oh, okay.
This is the world.
It's a lot. A car drives up, and a lady picks up a bag that has a cat in it and throws it over a wall. That's the beginning.
Yeah, it's like a pillowcase. We don't see the humans' heads. We just see, like, the lower halves of their bodies. This woman gets out of the car. She tosses this pillowcase that has a squirming cat inside over the wall. The car drives off. Cats scatter at the headlights. These humans are absolute monsters. We are 2 minutes in. Fuck humans. All the alley cats come around this pillowcase and, like, observe this poor cat.
Like, investigate what's going on.
That's all tied up.
All of them have collars, which, given they're all supposed to be strays, I found confusing. Anyway.
Surprise! It's the pretty protagonist cat inside of this pillowcase.
Yeah, one of the cats rips it open and reveals our protagonist. Now, I thought the protagonist was supposed to be Taylor Swift. Everyone made a big deal about how Taylor Swift was in this movie, and then I couldn't quite tell because the faces were weirdly, like, catified. And it wasn't until she started dancing, I was like, that's not Taylor Swift. And then I looked it up.
No, that was the whole thing, was that, like, they really marketed it as Taylor Swift heavy, and she's in it for maybe 5 minutes.
Yeah, like nothing. Anyway.
The music cuts out. We have our protagonist, and we get a bit of a prologue. The other cats stare at her. She's clearly not, they don't recognize her. She's not from
here.
She's not from around here. And they start to interrogate her, and they start to sing the opening song, Jellicle Cats.
Now, it's a little bit early to talk about the dancing. The dancing with the actors who were, like, professional dancers was really good. But the thing is that because they were all CGI'd, if you looked too hard, you could see it, and it felt unrealistic, and it sort of took away from how awesome their dancing was. I don't know.
So, you've never seen the stage show.
No.
This is a dance show.
Yeah.
Like, it's, the plot's so-so, costumes, makeup are fantastic, but, like, this show exists to be a danced show.
Yeah.
And they did their best with it as a film, but, like, the thing that you lose as a film is that you do lose the spectacle of viewing this dancing happening in front of you in real time.
And the amazingness of just, like, what human bodies can do, and because it was CGI'd, I felt like it took away from that, and there was a lot of moments where it looked like they almost floated on air as they jumped from one level to another, and that just sort of took away from the whole concept to me.
See, I did appreciate those aspects of, like, the acrobatics, of stuff that is just physically not possible to do on stage as humans, but in this world where they are cats and cats are liquid, they were actually able to at least take advantage of the CGI and special effects realm that they were in and do things that they just physically could not do in the theater. So it didn't bother me, but also we're coming at this from very different points of view. This song, Jellicle Cats, I still know every single word to.
Amazing.
But the song is essentially, hold on, I'm pulling up, because I did not write down a
single song name.
No, I know the song names. I could not write down a single lyric, but I do want to have them open.
Well, because this was all based off of a poem book, so a lot of his lyrics aren't him. Like, a lot of these are, like, directly taken from the poems. Anyway, but we're getting ahead of ourselves, again, into dramaturgy.
Right, but no, I just want to say, like, the gist of this song is that these cats are essentially interrogating this new pretty protagonist cat, and they are describing that they are what is called Jellicle Cats, and they describe with J, like Jellicles, and all the things that makes Jellicle Cats special. Yeah. Special cats.
In the middle of this, we get a brief shot of Idris Elba peeking at this new cat. Idris Elba is also a cat, but he wears a giant coat, and that's important for me to say now because I have opinions about when it is removed. So, suddenly, like, it's right at the end of this song, but it sort of cuts off really suddenly because all of the cats scatter, leaving our protagonist one alone in the street. And Idris Elba, and I honestly had such a hard time with the cat names because they're rarely said, except for him.
I can tell you all of them.
Thank you.
I can tell you
I know
all of
he's
them.
McCavity.
McCavity.
So Idris Elba is McCavity. He's the bad guy. You can tell because he's very ominous. He appears and tells her that it's dangerous to go to the Jellicle Ball this year because he is supposed to win. And he's full of depravity and magic.
Yes. I will say at this point we have moved from the alley out into like what I think is Trafalgar Square, like a very large
Are we in the square?
square in London. We are in the square at this point.
Oh, I thought we were just...
No, they finished the dance, the Jellicle dance, all in the square. Sure. Oh, and this is one thing. This is a long fucking song.
Yeah.
It's a long fucking movie.
Yeah.
One thing that I do like that they did about this movie that I personally found the lyrics, that just the style of singing has changed a lot. Compared to the original, there was a lot of personalization of each lyric, and some things were more okay just kind of being said. Right. And I liked it in this song. I have thoughts about the other, but like, where's the original Broadway? Like, they all have the same amount of energy in every single lyric.
Right, as opposed to sort of allowing a little bit of tone in.
Yeah, no, I appreciated that. But suddenly, they all scatter. Yeah. McCavity is there. He threatens our protagonist. Yes. I'm going to just tell you now, her name is Victoria. McCavity disappears in a puff of dust.
Yes.
A black and white cat goes up to Victoria, brings her back in, wants to like bring her into the safety of the back in the alleyway behind a gate. But the other cats stop her.
Yes.
They ask her name. She says it's Victoria. And then they say, well, you must have another name.
Yes.
And we're like, what? And then we learn
song.
It through song. Cats must have three names. One for humans, one for cats. And then what's the other one?
It's like an inscrutable name that they're always searching for. I didn't quite understand. Oh. So it's like one is what your human calls you, and then one is like what the other cats call you, and then one they're just like everyone's
just like
always
search for meaning.
And I'm just like, okay. Then you don't have three, you have two. Like, let's calm down. Anyway. And then we have a bit of a pas de deux, and these dancers are fabulous. Both of these dancers are trained professional ballerinas and have been a part of, like, huge ballet companies.
Yeah, Victoria dances while she thinks of what her cat name will be in this classic melody. They've moved to a graveyard at this point, and I do believe they're dancing on a crypt.
Yes, that is a fact. Then we get that black and white cat who saved her earlier. I'll just say now, this is Mr. Mistopheles, which I don't think I ever spelled the same way twice in my notes. He ended up being Mr. M for a lot of this. So he, who can't read the room, changes the tone completely and invites everyone to the Jellicle Ball. And then this sort of leader cat, what's his name? Munkustrap? Munkustrap. He starts to explain what the Jellicle Ball is. So, listener, okay. As someone who did not know the plot, let me sum up. An old cat, who's like the queen cat, chooses one cat a year to go up to heaven in a spaceship. And to get there, you have to compete in a talent competition. That is the entire plot of this whole damn musical.
Hold on. It's not that they just go to heaven, is that the old cat comes once a year, they have this Jellicle Ball, the old cat makes the choice of which cat gets to go up to cat heaven and be reborn and get to have another life. Whether they get up there in a spaceship is beside the point, but it's not that they go to heaven, it's that they come back. It's that they get to come back and be reborn. Everyone kind of like petitions themselves at the Jellicle Ball.
Talent competition.
In a talent show, which is why this film and musical feel like a talent show, with the ultimate goal of who gets to be reborn.
Yes, so listener, every now and then, I'm just going to remind you what the plot is, because you forget sometimes with all the insanity that goes on, but just remember that they're competing to go to cat heaven in a spaceship to be reborn. That's the plot.
For reference, cat heaven is called the Heaviside Layer.
Sure.
Never knew how that was spelled until today. For some reason, I thought it was layer, like a villain's lair, like L-A-I-R. No, it is layer, like a layer cake. So Munkustrap, who is kind of like the quasi-leader of these Jellicle cats, not like the general. He announces that the true leader is coming. The true leader is called Old Deuteronomy. Definitely an old cat. Munkustrap leads Victoria with the other cats to go see, like, let's go see a cat that's currently competing tonight to be a Jellicle choice. He takes us through the streets of London, and then we peer into the window of an apartment, and we see a very rotund orange cat named Jenny Anydots, played by Rebel Wilson, who is Jenny Anydots, the Gumby cat. And we get the song, The Gumby Cat.
This was very uncomfortable. There was a lot of jokes about her legs being spread and just like ass akimbo. It was a lot.
Now, I thought Rebel Wilson could sing. I guess she
Kind of.
can't. I
think she just has
not think she
a
could sing.
style. I don't think
She
she's
was
a
so
classic
flat.
singer.
She was so flat
Yeah.
so many times.
Yeah, it was.
There's one style of where you're like, you're not super strong. Like Victoria, the cat that plays Victoria,
Yeah.
like isn't a super strong singer, but is on pitch.
Yes.
And like when a note is not reachable, will speak sing it.
Yes.
I found Rebel Wilson to be very flat, and I did not enjoy this song.
Yep.
There's a lot of gags.
There's so
a
many
lot of
gags. She reveals like a group
lewd
of mice
gags.
children who she's trained to sing and then implies that she's going to eat them. There's direct-to-camera singing all the time, which I did not like.
Yeah.
She also unzips her fur at one point to reveal another fursuit beneath and a pink outfit. That was alarming. Anyway, the song ends in a bit of a dud, I'm going to be completely honest. And then Jason Derulo interrupts her.
I have a gripe because okay, I'm just gonna start and say one of my gripes
Is this
now.
the
Grace is
proportions?
already drinking. Yes, it's the proportions.
It's my biggest gripe.
Oh, don't worry, I have another one. But our shared gripe is that the proportions are fucking wild in this movie. It's the cats are both too big and too small for the spaces that they inhabit. The cockroaches and the mice are not proportionate to the cats.
No.
Which is everything's CGI, so that just felt like a very easy fix.
Also, children were playing the mice, and so you could have just had children play the mice, like, at their normal size, and that would be, like, maybe a little bit big for a mouse, but at least closer to what the actual proportion from a cat to a mouse would be.
I think maybe in the Broadway show there was like a quick costume change for the ensemble cats where they did like dance around as the cockroaches, maybe dance around as the mice. They're not. Oh, this is it. There is iconic choreography for this bit.
Okay.
For the cockroaches, the tap dancing, and they didn't fucking do it. Oh my god.
Oh boy.
So Jenny Anydots finishes this song. It's full of very mediocre gags. And then who comes in with feedback on Jenny Anydots' performance? Then Jason Derulo playing Rum Tum Tugger, who is like this big macho cat who has his own fur coat.
Yep.
I will accept no criticism. I loved Jason Derulo in this role.
I thought his voice was fabulous.
He's a fantastic
He's such
singer.
a good singer. I thought the ending was a little bit long. I thought that honestly the song went on maybe 30 seconds too long.
But the thing is, that is how the song ends. Like, that
Okay.
was, I'm thinking about it, like,
With like all of the riffs and all of the...
yes.
Okay,
Yes,
fair
that
enough.
is exact. In the show, he is like this Elvis character.
Yeah.
Who just, like, tantalizes the other cats, which is what he does.
Yeah.
Perfect casting. I will accept no criticism.
That's fair. He was
Jason Derulo-
He was probably one of my
Yeah.
funnest choices, like, for this.
He takes the cats from Jenny Anydots' house through the street. They dance. He is just dripping in fuckboy energy with this. He is shamelessly
big
flirting.
fuckboy energy. Wow, now that you've said it, that's what that is.
Yeah.
He also, like, the whole point of this song is that he's never really satisfied. The grass is always greener. If someone offers him one thing, he doesn't want it.
Yes,
But if they offer
yes.
something else, then he wants the other one again. So that's the whole vibe.
This song, this iteration of it, fully captured the energy that matched in the Broadway show.
Amazing.
The song ends.
With Rum Tum confronting Jennifer Hudson. So he runs into her. She is in sort of like a mangled fur coat on top of her fur body, and he hisses at her and runs off. So this is Grisabella.
Yeah, Grisabella definitely looks worse for wear, has definitely seen better days, looks like she's been living on the street, doesn't really have a community.
Yeah.
Victoria comes out, she doesn't know who Grisabella is, she doesn't
Right.
know the relationship between these Jellicle cats and Grisabella, and so she approaches her warily.
Basically, they chat about how she used to be a star and this really, like, big-time cat, but then she sort of got roped in with McCavity. Then she was sort of kicked out of the Jellicle cats, and now she lives out in the wasteland.
Does not work with McCavity anymore,
No.
but like reputation has been tarnished beyond repair. She then kind of slinks off, half crawls, half walks off into the mist, and just then, James fucking Corden comes
change
around
the
the
mood
corner.
again. Here we go.
And now for something completely different.
Exactly. James Corden as Bustopher Jones. We get sort of an introduction song to him.
Bustopher Jones is a very round black and white cat with top hat, white gloves, and
Spats.
Spats. He's from St. James. He's very posh. He's a snob. We get a song about him. This movie is a talent show.
Yes.
His whole thing, which is definitely just like eating the finer things in life, but he takes the other cats through. In his song, they scrounge through like a bunch of garbage.
Yeah.
And he like finds all the best things.
While this is happening,
Jenny Anydots has kind of lingered behind, and who comes up behind her but McCavity. He kind of makes a couple comments at her. He gets her to lower her guard, and then he tricks her, and he turns them both into dust and whisks them both away to question mark?
Somewhere. So then we go back to the song with Bustopher Jones. This is where I started writing the size perspective and the proportions are all off.
Now? We're like 20 minutes into this.
I know, but it was just like, it just got worse and worse with the champagne bottle. Anyway, near the end of the song, Bustopher notices McCavity, and he makes a joke about Puss in Spats.
McCavity does. McCavity calls Bustopher Puss in Spats.
Right, and so McCavity is sitting in front of what looks like a huge tub of garbage
Pile of
food.
garbage. Like a garbage can.
And he sort of dares Bustopher to go for it, and so he jumps.
Dive in.
So he does, and he jumps in. Turns out it's not a bucket, but like a Mario pipe that he just dives into and disappears.
Fully is sucked into the earth.
Yeah.
McCavity watches this, bursts into dust again, disappears as well. Victoria, who is our white cat protagonist,
is bad at keeping up with people.
Is suddenly left alone, looks for her friends, but is found instead by two trickster cats named Mungo Jerry and Rumple Teaser.
Yes. So we then have a song in which they tell how they just like to basically fuck up people's houses. So like if someone leaves a window open, they will come in and like tear up everything. And during this song, Victoria's having a good time. They're like draping her in jewelry, and they go and eat some of the food, and they destroy this fancy house. But at the end, unfortunately, they smash a vase, and so it wakes the house dog. Don't know how nothing else had woken the dog at this point, but that's fine. So the twins, Mungo Jerry and Rumple Teaser, escape, but Victoria gets one of her necklaces caught on like the bedpost or something, and so she's sort of trapped by her neck. And the twins just sort of shrug and leave her. And so the dog is barking and coming closer. Though we never see the dog, it's like behind a door.
Now, hold on. I'm so sorry.
Okay, is this where it diverges?
In a couple directions. First off, this is such a fun fucking song in the show. It is brassy. It is hijinks. They do like human cartwheels during it. It is very much like an acrobatic song.
Yeah.
They are still these petty thieves. To my remembering, there is not this like air of ominousness around them that there is in this film.
Right.
I think they fucking ruined this song. They made it like quiet and talky. One of them is Cockney and one of them is not.
Yeah, that was weird.
I get that they don't want it to be like every single song is jazzy, which like is a good critique for the show, but this is such a high energy song and I don't like what they did with it.
Fair enough.
I wanted brass. That is it for my critique.
Okay, fair enough. Mr. Mistopheles, who apparently has been looking for Victoria, comes in to save her, but she's able to pull herself free, and they both run to shut the bedroom door.
They close it on the dog.
He like pulls a bone out of his hat and throws it at the dog. He's like the magic cat, but not very good. The magician cat, but like
he's got a little top hat.
He's adorable, like sleight of hand stuff. And so they get the door shut, and they like have a moment, and I'm like, are these cats gonna kiss? But they don't. And
will they, won't they?
It was a big will they, won't they, and then they never do. He says that he's been looking for her everywhere and that she's going to miss the arrival of old Deuteronomy.
They run off. Meanwhile, Bustopher Jones and Jenny Anydots, so James Corden and Rebel Wilson, wake up on a barge in the Thames River. They are shackled to this barge. They do not want to be on this barge. They want to go to the ball. Dun dun dun, McCavity is there. He tells them he is stopping them from going to the ball, thus increasing his chances of being chosen. He's essentially eliminating his competition.
His chances of being chosen to go to heaven on a spaceship. Anyway, go ahead.
He has a henchman there named Growl Tiger.
Do you know who this is?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
This is also not who Growl Tiger is in the play, but it's fine.
This is the guy who, anyone who has seen Black Widow, is the bad guy in Black Widow.
Yeah.
And here he is, just sort of singing away. I had to check who this was, because I was like, I know this voice, and I think I know who this is, but if he is, what are you doing here?
McCavity orders Growl Tiger to stay behind, make sure Bustopher Jones and Jenny Anydots don't escape.
Mm-hmm.
This is a new song, if I am recalling correctly, that the Terror of the Thames, that Growl Tiger sings at them. I'm just checking that right now. Because, like, we never see this barge. Like,
Yeah.
I don't remember McCavity kidnapping Bustopher Jones and Jenny Anydots in the stage play.
Okay.
Yeah, Growl Tiger is used in the show, but in a different role later on.
Oh, okay.
Cut back to all the
other
Jellicle cats. Mistopheles brings Victoria back. Munkustrap wants to know where she was. He sees that she's wearing the jewelry that Mungo Jerry and Rumpelteazer put on her, and then Mistopheles covers for her and goes, "Oh, it's mine. It was a trick that went wrong." And Munkustrap is like, okay.
There's also, like, a weird... Does Munkustrap like Victoria? It's obvious that Mr. Mistopheles does. There's, like, a weird triangle sort of going on with the three of them.
I never picked up on that.
Really? I totally did.
Granted, I did watch this entirely on my phone.
Oh, well, yeah. There is that.
Might have missed some of the subtleties.
Yeah, oh man, because this movie, you know
Not
what
that
I could
there's a
call
lot
it?
of subtlety
Subtle.
in this movie. Oh.
So, Munkustrap says that old Deuteronomy is about to arrive, and Victoria asks who that is, and we get a bit of an explanation. She's like the grandma queen of everyone who chooses who goes to cat heaven. Then she starts to emerge from the mist, and it's Judi Dench.
In a giant fur coat.
Love it.
Fun fact, this is the only time Deuteronomy has ever been played by a woman. Deuteronomy is
Yeah.
always a man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
So when
exciting.
this is funny, I knew Ian McKellen was in this. I had forgotten Judi Dench was. So when I was expecting Deuteronomy to come out, and I was looking, I was like, Ian McKellen looks different. So I was thinking he was gonna be Deuteronomy, and then I was like, oh no, that's Judi fucking Dench.
Dame Judi Dench.
Excuse me. Oh my god, that is Dame Judi Dench. Ian McKellen pops up like 5 seconds
Sir
later.
Ian McKellen. Anyway,
Sorry,
now
I'm
I'll
sorry.
be done.
Sir Ian McKellen pops up 5 seconds later.
Yeah. Something's weird with her feet. I don't know if you could see because you were watching on a small screen, but man, there
Maybe
was
it was
something
for
weird
the
going on.
best
Yeah.
that I was viewing this on a
I
phone.
think maybe I should have. Anyway, so she says that she's here to make this yearly decision, and we see Sir Ian McKellen in the
Jellicle
background,
choice.
and they have like a quick eye contact. And they all enter into the abandoned theater called the Egyptian.
Yes, it's like this big ball dance room, and all the cats are like, "Who will it be? Who will it be? Who will be the Jellicle choice?" And they like chant this, and this turned into this big song with dancing. Again, like they had really fantastic dancers in this,
Yes.
and they do a good job.
Yeah.
And so this might be a shorter episode because like I can't describe how they just danced really good.
I know, they just did a good dance. I know, it was just, there's not a lot of plot going on. It's just a lot of dancing and weird lyrics. Anyway, Jason Derulo changes the tone again.
Wait, but before that, Grisabella sneaks into the theater or to
Oh,
the
is that when that
ballroom and
happens?
kind of watches from the sidelines.
Yeah.
So the Egyptian is dilapidated. There is a huge hole in the ceiling, so we can see the moon coming in. The moon shines into the ballroom, and it kind of like influences the cats' bodies as they
Yeah.
dance.
Victoria and Mr. Mistopheles have a duet together, which was very pretty.
Mistopheles is thrilled
Oh man, he's
about this.
over the moon.
Also, Grisabella specifically watches Victoria because Victoria was the only cat that like did not hiss at Grisabella and drive her away.
Yes.
Deuteronomy is watching over all of this reverently, and then who comes in and changes the tempo but Rum Tum Tugger changes the ballet to like acrobatic dance time.
Yep. He has a dance break, and then another cat breaks in for a dance, and it's all good dancing, and Victoria's put into the middle, and she starts having her own dance solo, and it's very ballerina-esque. At some point during this, Grisabella is found by a couple of other cats, and they sort of kick her out of the ball.
Yeah, they hiss at her, they chase her out.
Yeah.
At the end of this dance, Victoria sneaks out of the dance hall, because that shit was overwhelming.
Oh boy!
And she sees Grisabella outside alone, slumped against this lamppost.
Yeah.
But she doesn't go to her. She just kind of watches her from this door crack.
Yeah.
And we get a soft, a cappella, mostly,
Prequel?
version.
Yeah, Reprise? I don't know.
Sure.
It's like a reprise, but before the
Grisabella
song.
sings our first taste
Yeah.
of the song that if you know
Sampler.
any song from this, you know this one, Memory,
Hey.
which is just looking on past mistakes and asking for forgiveness, but not being sure you're going to get it, but asking for redemption nonetheless. Victoria watches Grisabella. She comes out. Grisabella sees her, and Victoria bows to Grisabella, kind of a nod to when Grisabella was like a famous person and someone to be respected.
Yeah.
Deuteronomy is watching all of this from a window. Victoria offers her hand to Grisabella, but Grisabella does not take it and starts to walk away down the street.
Yep. And then Victoria starts to sing a song, was it Beautiful Ghosts, I think it was called?
Beautiful Ghosts.
Yeah, and it's basically,
It is the only new song.
Yeah, that all she ever wanted was to be wanted, but she was abandoned, and Victoria ends up telling Grisabella through the song that she's lucky for at least having memories of beautiful things, even if those beautiful things are now gone. So it's just a very
they essentially like,
sad,
you have
sweet...
good memories, you have beautiful ghost memories to cling on to, but at least Victoria can say like she's now found a place to call home with all of these new cats.
Yeah.
Victoria watches Grisabella walk away. She sings a song to herself. Deuteronomy watches this all from the window. Victoria goes back into the theater, and Deuteronomy greets her. They have a proper introduction.
Right. Well, and also, old Deuteronomy at this point, she has like mini song in which she sort of reminisces about how the meaning of the choice that she has to make for the Jellicle cat can sometimes be lost. And so the meaning behind this choice originally was who deserves a second chance at life. And so watching the interaction between Victoria and Grisabella sort of reminded old Deuteronomy of like, that's what this was originally about.
Yes.
Is who deserves a second chance.
Deuteronomy then asks Victoria if she would like to see her make the Jellicle choice. So the Egyptian is like a dance performance hall. Mr. Mistopheles is backstage, and he finds Syrian McKellen, who plays kind of this raggedy old cat. Not like raggedy in the way that like cats get old when they're raggedy, not that he's like sick or anything, named Gus. Full God-given name, Asparagus.
Which I now want to name a cat Asparagus. That's on my list of things.
Gus is apparently like, Gus is known as Gus the theater cat. He has had a long storied career in the theater. Mr. Mistopheles says he's a big fan of his work. All the cats are congregated kind of as the audience, and Deuteronomy invites Gus to come out on the stage and kind of have his shot at being considered for the Jellicle choice. So Gus starts to sing. This song is so long. I should have skipped through it.
I'll be honest, I loved this song. Mostly because it was Ian McKellen. Just Ian McKellen, because, you know, he's getting old, and just watching him do anything that's, like, musical theater related, I was just like, oh, I just, like...
I hear that.
It had nothing to do with the character. It had everything to do with the fact that he was Ian
That's
McKellen.
fair. Maybe I would have felt that had I watched it on a bigger screen, but at this point, I couldn't care because it was just one more song for the talent show.
Another goddamn song after another.
Yeah. We see Mr. Mistopheles use some of his magic special effects to make lightning, to make these regaled stories of Gus more dramatic. Oh, this is where Growl Tiger is in the show. Growl Tiger is a character of a story that Gus tells.
Oh.
Because Gus once played this character named Growl Tiger, and they like reenact this like big battle that he has.
Okay.
Totally different from the show.
Yeah. Interesting. So his song ends, all the cats meow and applaud. He walks off stage, and McCavity is there, and he's like, oh, it was so amazing to see some of your old works again. Could I please have an autograph? Gus walks forward to give him an autograph, but then he poofs him away.
Into dust.
Into dust.
Sucks them both away into dust.
Ridiculous.
All right. Next up in the talent show is the song Skimbleshanks, the Railway Cat. It starts with Monka Strap singing. like kind of introducing who this next character is. This song felt like the show in the best ways. I fucking love this song.
God, this tap solo.
It's
and
so fun.
Okay, the problem that we had with the tap solo in Rocky Horror, everything was solved in this one. They focused on the feet. Like, you could see how good this person genuinely was at tapping. He is a remarkably talented tapper. And he, like, ate up every moment of it, was so over the top, very balletic movements. I loved it.
So, Skimbleshanks is the railway cat. He is played by a ginger cat with a big white mustache, red overalls, train conductor's hat. This song is essentially like how he kind of like makes the railways run. The trains won't leave on time if Skimbleshanks isn't there. I honestly don't remember if they tap in the Broadway show, but it starts with him tapping by himself kind of quiet, and then it picks up like a train whistle or a train tracks. Again, this show is a dance show, and that doesn't always get translated on screen. I thought it really did. It moves them all to be tap dancing in unison on train tracks outside. The proportions are a little off, but like, I didn't care.
One of the bits that I really actually did appreciate is they transfer sometimes between tap dancing on the boards in between the rails and sometimes tapping on the rails, and they made the taps sound different, as it would if you were tapping on metal versus tapping on wood. And I really did appreciate that.
We're suddenly back in the ballroom. Oh no! McCavity is there out in front of everyone, and he also sucks up Skimbleshanks in his dust. Now everyone knows that McCavity's a real threat. He is literally kidnapping cats to make him be the only choice. Now everyone knows. And then we get a wow, wow, wow electric guitar. And from the ceiling comes a
fake
moon prop. It slowly lowers down. There is a cat up there. And I thought at first it was McCavity because it's the chords of McCavity's song.
Right.
But no, it is Cat Taylor Swift.
Here she is. And it was like, oh, God, I forgot she was going to be in this. We're almost to the end of this movie. Anyway, so she sings this whole song about McCavity and how he's a cheat and a criminal, but whenever a crime is committed, he's never caught, that he can sort of disappear into dust.
It's like a sexy, slinky song.
Yeah. She also sprinkles catnip dust onto the cats below and sort of turns them into her slave.
It's like a mind control drug. It like
minions.
Yeah. She also has help from Mungo Jerry and Rumpelteazer, and correct me if I'm wrong, that is not a part of the stage show.
I would not know.
I'm saying that to the listeners. McCavity has henchmen in the show, but they all have like creepy masks on. I do not remember Mungo Jerry and Rumpelteazer being accomplices. Taylor Swift's character's name is Bubblerina. She is also not an accomplice. McCavity kind of acts by himself with these like unnamed henchmen in the show. So I was just like, wait, no, they're good guys.
Nope. They are goons.
They are goons in this point. But yes, this magic mind control dust. Maybe it's catnip, unclear. It's definitely more potent than that.
Well, the
spreads throughout the whole ballroom.
The thing that she has like says catnip on the side.
It's like bedazzled with catnip. So who's to say? Mistopheles sees what's happening. He tries to drag Victoria away to safety, but he falls victim to it. It's cool. The dust falls like embers.
Yeah, and sort of like sparks their fur.
In like a really kind of beautiful way. This is another moment of anatomical questions. Like at one point Taylor Swift does like a full-on boob shimmy and we got cat boobs and I'm like, that's not where they are.
Furry made this.
Yeah.
Also, so this is when McCavity doesn't have his coat anymore and he feels naked. And I think it's only because he had been wearing a coat and a hat this entire time. And so whenever he has it removed, he just looks naked.
It didn't bother me too much, but again, on the phone.
Yeah.
I like Taylor Swift, and I was expecting to hate this.
I didn't hate it.
I really liked her rendition of this.
Yeah, it was kind of fun. She made it her own. She didn't, like, over-sing it.
No.
I thought she did great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just sort of shocked that she wasn't in it more.
Yeah. But at the end of this song, she goes after Deuteronomy. Victoria gets dusted.
Yeah.
Oh no, all of a sudden, Deuteronomy is all alone. McCavity appears, and he's like, all right, you have to make the choice. And the choice is me, because I'm the only one left.
Right.
And she says, never. She doesn't say it like that. She says it very softly
She's
in
like,
the Judy Dench.
you know, I only choose cats who deserve a new life, not cheats. It will never be you. So he magics her to the barge.
Like that, the trance is broken. All the cats realize they're like, oh, fuck. Crap. Deuteronomy's gone. we briefly see at the barge Bustopher Jones, Jenny Anydots,
Yeah.
Skimbleshanks, like they're all tied up. They are stuck, and McCavity makes Deuteronomy walk the plank unless she makes him the choice.
And Growl Tiger, with big Smee-like vibes, just sort of walks her towards the plank, but she still refuses to send him to heaven in a space balloon. Anyway, go ahead.
Really quick, back to the ballroom. All the cats surround Mungo, Jerry, and Rumpelteazer. They're like, what happened? They're like, we didn't know this was how this was going to go down.
We didn't know what his plan was. We just wanted to make mischief like we normally do with humans.
Yeah. And Victoria's like, it was magic that took her away. We can use magic to bring her back with dun-da-da-da. Why don't we ask Mistopheles?
Yeah.
Mr. Mistopheles is like,
Oh,
that's out of my pay grade.
no. No.
Mr. Mistopheles is now on the spot.
Yeah.
They ask him to perform. They're like, you can do this. They try to build up this confidence.
Yeah, so he has a solo. He does like some sort of sleight of hand magic. And after each verse, he tries to conjure back old Deuteronomy, but it doesn't work. And he sort of almost gives up until Victoria starts singing. And then all of the cats go in again and gears him up for one more try. And then he does it, and they doesn't look like it worked. And then, but suddenly, old Deuteronomy appears from behind them and sings.
Through the power of magic cat friendship.
That's the one.
He did it.
Because it's really
okay,
about
two
the
really
magic
small-
we friendshipped along the way. Anyway.
I hate you so much. Two really quick gripes. I did like the take on this song compared to the original. I thought this one worked better than the Mungo, Jerry, and Rumpelteazer, because Mungo, Jerry, and Rumpelteazer are supposed to be this like super, super confident, heisting pair, and I did not like how quiet their song was, but I thought it worked well because Mr. Mistopheles does not have a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
It's a quieter take. That being said, there's a fantastic riff that he didn't do. It's later in the song when he's talking about like how there's lyrics about how like I've been thought to be in one room, but I've been actually in this room the whole time. And it's like talking about like his magical powers. But there's one song where they're like, they could have sworn I was by the fire. And he kind of sings the second half where it's like, when I was about on the roof. And in the show, he goes, when I was about on the roof, it's fantastic. And it wasn't there. And gripe. I wanted it.
And you didn't.
Because it would have been like, it would have worked with building his confidence up through the whole song. It's at the second half. And I just... Sir Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Sir Andrew.
Question.
Perfect. So, old Deuteronomy's
Deuteronomy
back.
is back. Yes. Also, in this split second, Victoria sees Grisabella yet again watching all of this go down through the crack in the door. She goes out onto the street to see her. We cut to the barge. McCavity is angry. He's been tricked because Deuteronomy's not there anymore.
Yeah. Idris then disappears with Taylor Swift.
Yeah, they bounce.
And Jenny Dots unzips her fur again. And somehow that lets her escape.
Yeah, she like shimmies out of the chains because she's takes up less space this way. She escapes with Bustopher Jones. They overwhelm Growl Tiger.
Yeah. He gets
and
thrown
he
overboard.
falls off the boat and they escape.
Poor goon.
Back at the Egyptian, Victoria once again sees Grisabella walking away. Victoria starts to sing Memory, also a cappella, to Grisabella.
Yeah.
She comforts Grisabella and she leads her back into the Egyptian to have her chance with Deuteronomy. None of the other cats are friendly. They hiss at Grisabella and they hiss at Victoria, but Victoria's like, fuck off.
Fuck off.
And she leads Grisabella in regardless.
And she tells her to sing. And at this point, I said, fuck him up, Jen. And she does.
And Jennifer Hudson eats this song up.
Oh my
Apparently
God.
when they filmed it, there was not a dry eye on the soundstage.
I would not be able to handle that in person. I could hardly handle it through my computer.
It is a passionate ballad about her mistakes, her former glory, losing her beauty, and she touches everyone's heart. She guts everyone.
And, like,
they're all like, we've been assholes.
It's a combination also of crying, singing, which isn't like technically beautiful, but you feel the emotion, so it grabs you that way. And then, of course, right at that final chorus, she does her full belt that only Jennifer Hudson could do. God damn, it gives me chills. She's magic.
I am tearing up thinking about it right now. Like, whatever critiques we have of this song, like, I'm not, like, Jennifer Hudson
Can do
and
no wrong.
this song are perfect. Like, the song is the most well-known song from this show for a reason, and Jennifer Hudson is
Destroyed
a
it.
phenomenal actress and singer.
Yeah.
Destroyed it.
No notes.
Deuteronomy approaches Grisabella. She offers her hand slash paw. And she says Grisabella is the Jellicle
No, it's a
choice.
hand. You know why? Because they all have fingers.
They all have fingers.
God.
Grisabella is the Jellicle choice. And Victoria sings the Beautiful Ghosts reprise.
Yep. And Grisabella thanks Victoria. And so they lead her to this broken chandelier.
It's broken in that, like, this chandelier is on the floor because it is broken.
Hot take.
I'm listening for it.
This is the Phantom of the Opera Theater. The chandelier is on the floor.
I like that take.
Great.
I have no issue with that take.
No notes. I also like the idea of the Phantom being the one who taught these cats to sing. Anyway, so she gets into this chandelier, and Mr. Mistopheles uses his magic to relight it.
They all bow to her as well.
They all bow to her, and it relights it and raises it up to heaven, turns it into a hot air space balloon, and...
Yeah, so the chandelier has a rope at the bottom, and it has a rope at the top that is attached to... We don't see it until a second later, but it is a hot air balloon. Whatever, like, lifts her out of this decrepit theater.
Yeah. And, so there is that rope that's hanging from the bottom of it, and so right as she's, like, rising up, McCavity tries to...
On the roof. McCavity's on the roof.
He jumps and grabs onto it, but he's not able to, like, keep hold of it for long, and he ends up falling onto, like, the head of a statue. I don't know. He tries...
It's Nelson's Column. That's the name of the statue
Great.
in London. And he tries to use his magic dust to get back up there, but it doesn't work.
Yeah.
During all of this, the Jellicle cats are singing the song, the heavy side... Well, I don't know what it's called. It's the Heaviside Layer song. They're singing about where Grisabella's going to go.
The journey to the Heaviside Layer.
After this, the Jellicles are reunited with their kidnapped friends.
This is all in Trafalgar Square, by the way. Anyway.
I was right, it's in Trafalgar Square.
Yeah. I knew the one at the end was. I didn't remember they're going there at the beginning.
I'm pretty
but
sure the
either
one
way.
at the beginning was. There are a lot of squares in London.
That is
Anyway,
true.
all the Jellicles are reunited with the ones that were kidnapped, and they all perch on the lion statue in Trafalgar Square, and they watch Grisabella ascend to cat heaven, Heaviside Layer,
On a magical hot air balloon.
as the morning sun glistens on the horizon. It's beautiful, and this is where we transition into the next song
Oh, yeah.
for the finale. The finale is called The Addressing of Cats. We get a lot of direct into camera
Yep.
acting from Dame Judi Dench.
Man, she's like, okay, cool. You all know about cats now, so here's some rules. They aren't dogs. I'm like, cool, good job. Then, the cats resent familiarity. So don't be too familiar. You should address them as, oh, cat, which I often do. Whenever I see a cat and I'm walking down the street, I'm like, oh, cat! That does happen. Then, if you bribe them with food, they will like you better. Those are the 4 rules of a cat.
That is where my timer ran out.
This is the final song
Yeah,
of this movie.
Oh no, we broke Grace.
Oh, it felt like I should have ended with her going into the balloon, but then they just had to be
I
like, okay, so
agree.
let's just wrap up. Not dogs. Don't be too
Yeah.
familiar. You have to say, oh, cat, and then bribe
Right.
them with food.
They did the homework section for us.
Thanks, guys. So they all scatter, and the only other thing that happens is old Deuteronomy tells Victoria that she's a Jellicle cat now, and then they see the space balloon disappear into heaven.
And that's Cats.
That's the end of this movie. Oh boy.
Oh boy, Grace, what did you think of this movie?
Anna, let me reply to that with a question. What hoodwinking witchcraft did they do to bamboozle all of these fabulous actors to be in this ridiculous movie?
Well, this was 2019. We were riding on the coattails of like the success. Like Tom Hooper had just done Les Mis, and he was a big name. I think this is around the time that The Greatest Showman came out.
Right.
If I think that might have been like the year before. Like big budget musicals were like definitely in the zeitgeist. Here's the thing, and we're gonna talk about this later. Cats was a huge success.
Yeah,
when
no,
it
I
was
mean,
on
it's
Broadway.
a sensation in terms of like the stage
So
show.
to a producer, it made sense.
Yeah. Man, talk about a swing and a miss.
Clearly mistakes were made along the way, but that's my answer. That's my long-winded answer to
That's
your
fair.
question.
As someone who came in with nothing, this was my first experience with cats. Which maybe it shouldn't have been. I was so distracted by the CGI that I couldn't let myself forgive other areas. Like, the plot itself is very silly. And, I mean, like you
You're not
said,
wrong.
the whole point of it is the dancing. And so I felt because so much focus was on the insanity of the CGI that I missed what the actual point of this musical is, which is supposed to be the dancing. And so I felt like I
You know
didn't
what's not
see it.
about the dancing? Les Mis.
Yeah, exactly. I felt like I didn't see this story at its best. I'll put it that way.
That's a really good point. I obviously came at this from a very different point of view, so my critiques are different.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to absolutely hate this. Granted, fully watched it on a phone. I did not find it redeemable, but I did not hate every single minute that I watched it, and I thought I was going to.
Yeah, that's fair. There were some single songs that I had a great time watching. The train one was great. Jason Derulo was hysterical.
That's the thing. I did not expect to have like that reaction. I'm just like the
Yeah.
I did not expect to have that reaction, and I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. So I had like a few moments where I was just like, genuinely good. But it was not enough for me.
Yeah, there
to
were so
redeem
many
the
layers of confusion on top of it through the CGI.
Yeah.
That was just like, yes, underneath all of the bullshit, it was
And
still
the
good.
CGI wasn't good enough to like get through that because I was watching it on a screen and I'm like sitting pretty close to the screen. I could see it's always the shadow and where the foot meets the ground, where you can tell, especially if a full body is CGI'd. And it's dancing, and I love watching dancing, so I like looking at how the body's moving, and I'm like, I see that it's CGI because you're not interacting with the space the way a human body actually interacts with the space. So I think I was just so distracted by that that I couldn't appreciate what it should have been, I guess. So, yeah, I would do like 3.5 out of 10.
I would say that's, 3.5, 3 out of 10.
Yeah, something like that.
The performances that I liked were not enough to redeem the entire thing.
Not at all. Should we do
Drinks and dramaturgy?
drinks and dramaturgy? I told Anna earlier I have single servings of champagne in my fridge, and so I decided to be bougie because here it is strawberry season, so I have strawberries in my champagne.
We are recording this on a Bones Day, so dear listener, go out and buy yourself some champagne. You deserve it. All right. As we said before, this dramaturgy report.
Thank you for remembering.
Almost started without it. This was directed by Tom Hooper, who is a British-Australian film and TV director and producer known for critical and commercial film successes such as Les Mis, The King's Speech, The Damn United, and several TV miniseries successes such as Elizabeth I and John Adams. As we said before, seemed like a good recipe for success. The cinematographer was this young guy named Christopher Ross. He's British. Varied film credits include, obviously, Cats, Danny Boyle's Yesterday, a film called Black Sea starring Jude Law. However, his most recent film is Everybody's Talking About Jamie, which I have not seen, which we will do
because it is a musical. I am very excited. I saw a trailer for that. It looks really good. I am looking forward to that a lot.
That's all I have for director and cinematographer.
Totally fine. I have only a small bit for the writer. So it was written by Tom Hooper and Lee Hall. So you already talked about Tom Hooper. So Lee Hall was a English playwright and screenwriter and lyricist, and he's best known for writing the screenplay for the film Billy Elliot and the book and the lyrics for its adaptation as a stage musical. In addition, he wrote the play The Pitman Painters, and he wrote the screenplay for the film Rocket Man, which we will also do, because that is also a musical.
I loved that movie.
I loved Rocket Man. We'll get there. All right.
I can't wait to watch that.
So we're going to talk a little bit about the stage musical, just sort of its impact on theater in general, because it did sort of change the game. So
it really did.
Yeah.
Okay, really quick side note. Obviously, CGI has come a long way. I mean, like, if Cats had come out more recently and was the phenomenon that it was more recently, I would be interested to see how critical and general audience reviews would have been. But, like, it's been a minute, and the people that are consuming this movie might not be the same people that were there for the phenomenon of Cats.
Yeah. So Cats is sung-through musical composed by Andrew Lloyd Webber, based on the 1939 poetry collection Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats by T.S. Eliot. Now, the London production ran for 21 years and almost 9,000 performances. And the Broadway production ran for 18 years and almost 7,500 performances. So Cats was the longest running musical in both theater districts for a number of years, though it was beat out. I think right now it is the fourth longest running show in Broadway history and the sixth longest in London's West End. Cats sort of started the mega musical phenomenon of a musical that stayed on for that long. I think it was kind of the first one that stayed on for longer than like maybe a few years. So it established a global market for musical theater and directed the industry's focus towards more big budget blockbusters and like visually gripping shows as opposed to shows that were more focused on story, as well as family and tourist friendly shows. It had a profound polarizing influence and reshaped the aesthetic and technology and the marketing of musical theater. I think it was sort of the first one that really got that. And I mean, now we have the classics of Cats and then Phantom of the Opera and Les Mis and Wicked and Lion King and I think Aladdin's starting to get towards there. Like, there's just those musicals that are so big budget and so visually striking that they're just going to run forever because it's also family friendly. Everyone knows about it, and it's an easy thing to go see
like
with
School
your kids.
of Rock as
School
well.
of Rock also, that's a great example. But it was kind of the first one that really broke through that concept of a decades-long run.
Yeah.
Now, I don't have much on the screenplay. I mean, the only thing really was that it was originally intended to be a traditionally animated movie before Tom Hooper came in. Now, I'm going to talk just a little bit about the visual effects because we've been talking about that a lot. So, they used visual effects to convert the live action actors into computer animated cats. However, during the production process, the film was originally going to include makeup effects and costume design with fur for the characters that Hooper had experimented with, and they were going to use prosthetics to create the look of a cat, but there was like prohibitive cost value with that to like get those people into that, and it would have taken too long, and it just didn't look like Tom Hooper wanted. So they decided to do the whole thing rendered digitally. And so the actors' faces were really the only thing that was actually filmed, and you can sort of see around the edges of the face where it blends in to the rest of the CGI body. The actual production of the CGI was really troubled. There were sources saying that the staff was working 80 to 90-hour weeks to try and finish these effects by the release date, while the director would be sending them really aggressive and denigrating emails about their work and insult them during conferences. Apparently, it was not a good working relationship between the CGI staff and the director. The team ended up spending 6 months to produce the film's 2-minute trailer, which only left 4 months for them to finish the rest of the film, which is insane.
Jesus Christ.
And so the visuals were completed hours before the premiere, like down to the wire.
There was a modified release for this film. So this film's original release actually contained numerous CGI errors, glitches, and after the poor reviews, Universal told cinemas on opening day that an updated digital cinema package with quote-unquote improved visual effects would be able to download on December 22nd, urging them to replace what you currently had with that as soon as possible. Studio executives and cinema owners said that a decision to release a modified version of a film that is already in wide release was unheard of.
Honestly, I think they should have just delayed it just so that they could have actually spent the time, but I guess because it was such a big, like, they were publicizing it so hard that was not really considered to be an option.
Yeah.
To talk about Sir Andrew Lloyd Webber. So, Andrew Lloyd Webber, he is a very famous English composer of musical theater. Several of his musicals have run for more than a decade in the West End and on Broadway. He has composed 21 musicals, a song cycle, a set of variations, 2 film scores, and a Latin Requiem Mass. The New York Times referred to him as the most commercially successful composer in history, which I 100% agree with. The Daily Telegraph ranked him as the 5th most powerful person in British culture, which I found to be hilarious. In terms of Cats, Andrew Lloyd Webber embarked on Cats without a lyricist and instead turned to the poetry of T.S. Eliot for most of his lyric inspirations. As we said, on Broadway, Cats ran for 18 years, a record which would ultimately be broken by another Andrew Lloyd Webber musical, The Phantom of the Opera. Music for this film, the 2019 film, was composed by Andrew Lloyd Webber with contributions from producer Greg Wells, who was initially brought in after the production in mid-2019. The new song for this musical, which was Beautiful Ghosts, Andrew Lloyd Webber wrote the song with Taylor Swift, and it was also produced by Greg Wells. In an interview in August 2020, Andrew Lloyd Webber called the film ridiculous in the ways that it changed the musical. The problem with the film was that Tom Hooper decided he didn't want anybody involved in it who was involved in the original show. So there was a bit of contention as well between the director and Andrew Lloyd Webber. This is his 5th musical to be adapted into a movie. So there was Jesus Christ Superstar in 1973, which we have gone over, Evita in 1996, Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat in 1999.
I always forget about Joseph.
I always forget about Joseph. And The Phantom of the Opera in 2004. I don't have much for actors or casting. I mean, the casting was an interesting mix of really, really famous names and really, really talented dancers that were classically trained. I think, oh god, who's the lead cat? The Musto Sticks? I don't know.
Monkastrap?
Monkastrap!
Mustard sticks? Is that what you just
I
said?
said Musto Sticks, but it's fine. Monkastrap, I'm pretty sure he was the lead guy from An American in Paris.
He was. Robbie Fairchild.
That's the one. So as you said, Judi Dench was the first woman to play Old Deuteronomy, and so they had a bunch of other people they were considering to play that character before they decided to move in that direction, and some of those were Jeremy Irons, Christopher Plummer, Jeffrey Rush, James Earl Jones, John Cleese, Sir Michael Caine, and Michael Gambon. Wild choices.
Wow.
Some really
And then
aggressive,
they went with Judi Dench.
they were just like, give me all of your old British people and James Earl Jones.
and James Earl Jones.
Apparently, Anne Hathaway and Rihanna were also considered to be a part of this, but they ended up not. Hugh Jackman was offered a role by the director because they had obviously worked together, but he turned it down.
Jacked man.
Huge jacked man was offered a role, but he said no. Taylor Swift apparently had previously tested for the role of Eponine in Les Mis, but was not chosen for that, and instead given the part of Bomblerina without an audition. They were just like, fuck yes.
Yeah.
That's that. Do you have some more about reception?
I do. So, the budget for this film was between $80 and $100 million. However, it only grossed at the box office $75.5 million,
Oof.
netting it at least a loss of $0.5 million, if not more. Currently has a 20% on Rotten Tomatoes. Peter DeBruge of Variety called the film, quote unquote, one of those once-in-a-blue-moon embarrassments that mars the resumes of great actors, parenthetical, poor Idris Elba,
Poor Idris
already
Elba.
scarred enough as the villainous McCavity, and trips up the careers of promising newcomers, parenthetical, like ballerina Francesca Hayward, whose wide-eyed, mouth-agape Victoria displayed one expression the entire movie.
That's not incorrect.
So I have two categories. I have bad awards and real awards.
Great.
So for bad awards, the film was nominated for a lot of things. They are the Dorian, the Gold Schmoes, and the Golden Raspberry Awards. In terms of real awards, the song Beautiful Ghosts by Taylor Swift and Andrew Lloyd Webber was nominated for a Golden Globe, a Grammy, and the Huading Awards, which is the Chinese Entertainment Awards.
Cool. Sangin'.
Sangin'?
Hit or miss.
Some were fantastic.
Yeah.
Love Jason Derulo. Love Skimble Shakes.
Love Jennifer Hudson.
Love Jennifer Hudson.
I liked Taylor Swift.
I really liked Taylor Swift's song.
Yeah.
Oh, I liked the lyrics of Beautiful Ghosts, and I liked the Bomblerina McCavity song.
Yeah. But then, you know, with Victoria, her obvious strength was dancing. She was a phenomenal dancer, but her singing voice just felt not full-bodied.
It wasn't full-bodied. And you know what? That's okay for... I find it to be more acceptable for
I didn't mind it for her
movies.
character, to be honest.
Yeah.
And definitely for a movie. If it had been on stage, I would have been a little bit more upset.
Oh, it would have been unacceptable. But, like, it made me think of, like, there are moments in, like, Mamma Mia where Amanda Seyfried is not fully on voice, and they're, like, quieter moments.
Yeah.
It was all right. Dancing. This is a dance show.
Yes, very much
And
so.
some times that translated to the film, but a lot of, as I said before, the wow factor of experiencing it live was obviously lost.
Yeah. I feel like we're going to have the exact same reaction. I mean, so the movie for Chorus Line is notoriously bad.
Yeah.
And I think there is something about seeing that level of intense dancing in person that is impossible to recreate on film.
Agreed.
I thought that the solos were good. I thought that they were obviously really trained and gorgeous dancers. Victoria was great, and the tap dance solo was spectacular. It was the bigger group numbers that sort of lacked the wow factor for me. And I think the CGI didn't do it any favors.
Let's talk gripes. I know
Yes.
you wanted to talk about the tails, and we didn't talk about it earlier, so I wanted to make sure you got the opportunity to talk about the tails.
Thank you for reminding me. I was gonna forget. So,
Blacked it out.
this is not how cattails work. The mechanism for how cattails work, sorry, I'm like holding up for Anna to see, is that
None of our
no one
listeners
can see
that.
this, but the muscles that and the tendons that make it work is that it all comes from the bottom. So the movements should start from the bottom and move through the top. There are several moments in which the movements seem to start from the top and then work its way down. That's not how cats work. Anyway, that's it. That in proportions. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, cats don't have prehensile tails.
Mm-mm.
That's a prehensile tail thing that you're describing.
Think so. That's a word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that going to be your big gripe, or is there another?
The proportions were the other thing, but we already talked about that a lot.
Yeah, the proportions were one of my gripes. So honestly, my biggest gripe was everyone's lips. I found of all of the humanoid features of these cats, it was that we kept the lips. The lips were too human, and honestly, it was mostly Victoria. Victoria is a white cat, and the lips were pink, whereas all the other cats, the lips blended into the fur color better.
Right.
Victoria, the actress that plays Victoria, has this like lovely full mouth, but it was so human looking that it took me out of it every single time I looked at her.
Yeah.
And like, there's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah. Are we rebranding Moments of Joy as giggles? Gripes and giggles?
Gripes and giggles. All right, what was your giggle?
Not a giggle, but obviously memory is fantastic. And honestly, my big giggle is just Jason Derulo, and that his whole
He's
song.
mine. He's my
Oh no.
giggle.
Fine, my giggle.
It's okay. No, we can both. Honestly, he can have both of the giggles.
Yeah, truly, he deserves all the giggles. Yeah, he was very funny.
Excellent casting.
Did not take himself too seriously. Yeah. And also wasn't really a part of the plot, so I never really got frustrated with him because of dumb plot reasons.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What's your fun fact?
Andrew Lloyd Webber. He was so affected by the disastrous reception of this movie that he ended up adopting a Havanese puppy, which if you haven't seen a Havanese puppy, they're adorable. And he had this dog registered as a therapy pet. Now, whenever he was traveling, he was asked by the airline via a note asking if he actually needed the dog. And he responded, "Yes, just see what Hollywood did to my musical cats." And the airline sent an approval back with a note saying, "No doctor's report required." Oh, God. Bless that person who got to send that back, because you know that they looked at his email and was just like, "That's fair."
Yeah, that's no further information needed.
No. Do you have a fun fact?
My fun fact is that this stage musical started in London before it transferred to Broadway. Dame Judi Dench was cast in the original 1981 London stage production in the dual roles of Jenny Anydots and Grisabella.
Are they switchable roles?
I don't remember that. I don't think that was a change. I think that was a change that made. I don't remember that. I could be very wrong.
Wow,
like,
what
again, like
wildly different characters.
I don't know if that stayed throughout the rest of the show.
Yeah.
However, before opening night, she injured her Achilles tendon and she had to withdraw from the show.
Oh no!
And she was replaced at the last minute by Elaine Page.
Oh.
So that is how Elaine Page
went
on
Grisabella.
to be Grisabella. Crazy.
That's crazy.
All right, Grace, what is your homework for Cat?
My homework is to listen to a big band musical.
Like what?
Your Sweeney's Todd. Your Phantom's Opera.
Your Sweeney's Todd. Get your Sweeney's Todd here. Get your Phantom's Operas.
Just something that has a big brass section and just grabs your heart. I mean, if you listen to this show, if you listen to us rant, then you obviously are a fan of musicals. So big recommend is to just find your favorite big band musical. So right after I watched this movie, I went and I listened to the original recording of The Phantom of the Opera, and man, it just lifted my whole day. I was grocery shopping while listening to Masquerade. It was a good time. And also, so that's the one where, you said that you knew every word to, Jellicle Cats. As I was listening through, and I have not listened or watched Phantom in, I'm going to say, a good decade, I knew every goddamn word.
See, that's somehow better than me knowing every single word to Cats.
Well,
that's
I think the problem is that the
appropriate.
reason why I know it is because of the 2004 movie. It's not because of the original Broadway production. It is because of Gerard Butler's dumb face.
Oh, I can't wait to do that movie.
It's gonna be good. All right, what's your homework, Anna? You said you had some.
I do. My homework is don't see this movie and Venmo me $4. Oh, Grace
no,
did
I
a
had
spit take.
champagne.
Yeah, that's my homework. I've saved you the trouble.
Venmo
Don't see this
Anna
movie.
$4.
Venmo me $4. Drop it in the show notes.
Amazing. Fantastic. All right. If y'all made it this far with us, good job.
We're so proud of you.
So proud. Thank you for listening. If you want to follow us,
we are available at 5678, a movie musical podcast on Instagram, Facebook. We are 5678 a podcast on Twitter, and we will have a website soon.
Woo.
We also have an email, Grace, which is
5678 a movie musical podcast at gmail.com.
If you enjoyed what you listened to, throw us into a star, throw us some reviews,
write our epitaphs.
We are so grateful you've stuck around. We didn't have any waiters for this show.
We definitely had a gangster. And we definitely had goons.
No waiters.
No one was doing their job. But cats don't have jobs.
Cats.
So I guess in that way, everyone was doing their job.
I'm sorry. If anyone was a waiter, Munkustrap was a waiter. Because he was just like, we got to get the show on the road. Where do you keep
Where
running
have
off
you
to?
been? That's fair.
Yeah,
I buy that. I buy that. Fair.
All right. That's it. That's the note we're ending on. Thank you all for being here. That's literally all she wrote. Goodbye.
Bye.
5678.
There's no business like show business, like no business I know.